Okay. Got my checklist. Okay, so parking brake set. Checking doors and windows. Closed and locked. Fuel selector on both. Primer is locked. Mixture rich. Oil temperature is now green. Oil pressure is green. Been on for almost 7 minutes.
Yep.
So, all right. Area is clear. Brakes are set. Throttle's coming up to 1700. Okay, and now I go check right, 2 clicks to the left, drop about 50, back to both, 1 click to the left for the left mag, equivalent drop, the alternator check, the needle dropped about half a needle. Low voltage light is on and now back on. Is that what I'm looking for? Oil pressure still in the green. And engine gauge is otherwise, everything looks where it should be. Suction's green, fuel gauges are green, oil temperature's fine, low voltage light is out. Vacuum pressure is checked. So I'm going to check the carb heat now. So we're going to put carb heat on. RPM drops about 100, throttle to idle. We're at about 800 and is working okay. So, carb heat. Do that now or?
Potomac Airfield, automated advisory, wind 220 at high overcast, altimeter 3026, conditions favor runway 2
okay.
Right, traffic,
so parking brake release. Okay, so we're going to do a short field takeoff from runway 24.
Automated advisory, wind 220 at 7, altimeter 3026, conditions favor runway
down the runway pretty much.
Traffic, it was 230. So we're going to climb first at full throttle with brakes on, and then we're going to take off and climb at VX 60 until we clear the trees, and then go to VY at 76.
Transmit radio check.
At approximately 700 feet, we'll turn south for the practice area. If there are engine problems before we leave the ground, then we'll throttle to idle and brake aggressively. Any engine problems or failure once we leave the ground, until we're at 1,000 feet, we will not turn back to the runway, and we'll look for a suitable landing place, probably the fields to the left. And if we're above 1,000 feet, we'll try to turn back here or to hide if possible.
Okay.
So I think we're all set. So flaps to 10.
Yep.
Mixture rich. Carb heat cold. Ignition is on both. Room for takeoff. Alright, so engine gauges still in green. Airspeed's at 0.
Traffic, November 5477 kilo.
I'm a little bit tilted that way. Is that because we're on a slant? Yeah. And move the dot to the middle on my attitude indicator, and then we're at 3026, and it's at field elevation, so accurate. Slightly, pretty much at 0, maybe a slight climb there. DG's that should be at 215. Am I missing that? Did it move?
Possibly.
22, yeah. And I'm just slightly ball to the left because of the slants, but everything looks good. And our transponder's on alt with 4606 is our code. The alternate static. That all it comes out?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Alright, seatbelt's tight and secured.
Yep.
Doors locked. Flight controls free and correct. Rudder 2. Okay, and I did the departure brief.
All right, good to go.
Okay. So I'm going to turn first, clear final, and then announce.
Sounds good.
Runway. I haven't heard anybody in the pattern, so final looks clear. Potomac traffic, Cessna 64776, taking runway 24 for departure to the south, Potomac. On the right taxiway.
Flip the landing light on. There we go. All right.
Now, would you always use a landing light for when you're taking off, or is it more just because it's later in the day and getting a little darker?
Whenever I'm on the runway, turn it
Okay.
on. And airborne. Generally just keep it on, it's LED.
Alright, so we got the nose wheel should be straight at this point, so brakes are set. Takeoff checklist. Alright, so advanced throttle, gauges, rotate, airspeed, okay. Alright, so throttle's coming up to full. Okay, releasing brakes, feet on the floor. Engine gauge is in the green. Airspeed's alive. Actually, rotation at 50. Go to the tree, so pitch for 75. Potomac traffic, Cessna 64776, turning left crosswind, runway 24, Potomac. To the two towers there.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're departing the pattern, so Potomac traffic, Cessna 64776, departing the pattern to the south, Potomac, last call. Pitch for cruise time, 90, climb for 1,300.
Yep, we're almost there.
That 100.
Alright, let's call Potomac. Switch the frequency.
Departing on the upper runway.
How do I switch it?
Right there. Yep. There you go.
Potomac approach, Cessna 64776, off BKX, Potomac.
November 64776, your transponder is observed, man outside Class Bravo airspace, altimeter is 3026.
We'll stay out of Class Bravo airspace, altimeter 3026, Cessna 64776.
Alright. So you can head for that smokestack all the way out on the horizon. Start with that, 1,300 feet.
Okay.
Very good.
So it looks like there's a wind, crosswind, or I know
Yeah.
crosswind wind this way.
Yeah, we might run into some Winds at 2 Whiskey 5. Wouldn't be surprised.
Any pointers for the takeoff?
I thought it was a little early. I mean, the problem with the school here is that we don't have standardization, which means that every instructor thinks something different. So don't take everything I'm saying seriously. It's just my technique. I like to do 55, 65, 75. And then I don't retract the flaps until I'm at 300 or 400 feet.
Okay.
And I wait until I'm at 75 to retract the flaps. The issue with doing it a little too slow is that you're closer to your stall speed.
Sorry, departure is Skyhawk 89464.
And also, if you were to get a gust of wind, a 10 knot gust of wind, you would definitely stall, or whatever it is. So there's less cushion, basically.
Excuse me, I rotated too soon.
Correct.
Okay, 946.
But other than that, you maintain center line and
you are VFR, right?
you're coordinated. You're pretty much on the center line of the runway too.
Okay, 94664. Roger, remain outside class 5 airspace at all.
You cleared the runway. I mean, there's like 10 things. You checked off like 8 of them or whatever.
3026, proceed on course outside of Bravo 464.
And also, I wouldn't read the takeoff checklist. Basically, once you're on the runway, get out of there.
Just know it.
I'm sorry, what's your call sign?
Double down 177.
Double down 177, transponders observer, remain outside class 5 airspace, altimeter 3026.
3026. We'll go for 177.
I'm taking a very passive approach to instructing today. I want to see how much you can do on your own, which should be good for you because it's like a progress report to soloing. By the time you solo, I shouldn't have to say anything or do anything. It's all on you when you solo because it's just going to be you.
Got it.
So I guess
90464, when you exit the
there's
SR, are you
traffic
looking
above us, not a problem.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Appreciate it.
The plan I have is just show me all the maneuvers you want to work on that you want to,
Okay.
just show me what you know. We don't have to do everything, but just a couple things or whatever.
Okay. Got it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and climb up to 2300 then.
177 is headed to Kilo, November.
Fine with me.
Kilo, Pax River.
I adjusted the squelch slightly so it didn't pick up
770, looking for flight following down there.
this background noise that's really annoying.
178.
And what's your requested altitude?
1,500, sir.
Roger. Double down 1770 on a company code.
177, that's a firm.
Roger.
1,000 for 2,300.
Really nice day. I thought it was going to be choppy.
Double down 177, contact Potomac on 128.35.
28.385, first 177 switching.
And double down 177, it's just 128.35.
28.35 for 177.
Alright, just a little bit. We can climb again. Alright, you can climb to whatever altitude. Where were you thinking?
Omaha 4 traffic 5 miles northwest to your position southbound.
3,000, sounds good.
1,200 Skyhawk just took off of VKX.
1-4 negative contact, sir, search. I think I have, sir. I'll maintain visual separation.
Omaha 4 route. November 64776, traffic is at your 6 o'clock and about 4 miles southbound. Altitude indicates 2,000 feet. Appears to be turning into Davidson for the ILS.
Searching for traffic, 776. 6 o'clock. Hey.
Stomach approach.
That hurts my neck.
Approach.
700.
November 5477 kilo, turning westbound Potomac.
November 5477 kilo, transponder is observed. Remain outside Class Bravo airspace. National altimeter is 3026.
Wilco.
November 5477 kilo, traffic's 9 o'clock and 2 miles westbound. Altitude indicates 900 feet. Helicopter has the insight.
Looking, thank you.
November 890-464, contact Potomac on 132.77.
3277, good day 464.
Alright, whenever you're ready, you can do some clearing turns.
Okay, so clear left, turning left. Right. Right.
Omaha 4, are you trying to transition to the Davidson Delta?
Omaha 4, affirmative, sir.
Omaha 4, I'm sorry, did you say affirmative?
That's correct, sir.
Omaha 4, roger.
That's 290 degrees, so we good?
Sure. I don't see anybody. And that the previous issue traffic is no factor. They're 2,000 feet going the other way.
Okay, so
Whatever you want to do.
try some slow flight.
Slow flight? Sure.
Okay.
We'll do heading 210 at 3,000.
Okay, so repeat.
Potomac approach,
Hold,
November
throttle back
5477 kilo, have Maryland in sight. Potomac.
November 5477 kilo, you have full stop.
Pattern work.
November 5477, you have traffic 12 o'clock. It indicates 1,400, a helicopter appears to be turning into Davidson.
Copy, we have in sight.
Man, you do not use a call sign. 5477 kilo, remain on the squawk at all times. Call me when you're...
Wilco 5477 kilo.
Alright.
Lost more altitude.
A little more power.
Contact Davidson Tower, use caution. There is multiple aircraft in the pattern at Davidson. One is at your, let's see, 11 o'clock.
Let's try carpeed in and more power.
Helicopter altitude indicates 1,200.
2,200.
Be turning
Try
in now
that.
for the GPS at 3.
When you add more power, you add more right rudder.
4 Wilco, and we'll switch Davidson Tower 26-3.
Stand by.
Okay, so I have power enough to climb back to 3,000?
Yeah. And now I want you to maintain 3,000 until you'll have to reduce the power.
Omaha 4, Tower, let's see here. Davidson Tower is on 126.30.
And carb heat out.
Okay, switch roll.
Might have to fiddle with it a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Let's turn left, heading of 120. Maintain 3000.
Your left, turning left.
Nice shallow
3000.
10-degree banks.
We're going almost all the way around.
No, 120, 90-degree turn to the left.
120, okay.
Yeah.
I was,
All right, let's descend to 2,800 on this heading.
okay, still in slow flight.
Yeah, and by the way, it's an outside maneuver, so let's just turn towards the power plant. And then, while you're pointed at the power plant, descend and maintain 2,800. And try and hold on to your current airspeed.
Or 2,800.
There you go. Yeah, remember how much you had when it was level? It was about 2,000 RPM or so. Well, you have to give it the 2,000 RPM it wants, or else it will descend. Anything less, it will descend. Anything more, it will climb. You kind of remember that you're doing the maneuver. But you're well within you're within commercial tolerances, so I'm very happy. All right, what do you want to do next?
Why don't we do a power off stall?
Power off stall? All right, go ahead.
Okay, so help me out here, Ethan. Should I set my speed I'm going to set my speed at 65 to start with.
You can just pull the power and move the power to idle and increase your angle of attack. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Should I go back to
3,000? Yeah, back to 3,000 cruise flight. Be careful with your speed here. You want to first get your climb speed and then, or show a positive increase in speed and then retract the flaps.
Okay.
If you retract the flaps when you're at a low airspeed, you could lose a lot of lift and potentially restall the airplane. Unintentionally. Very good.
There's a lot of trim there still.
I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I did a stage check for one of Dave's students. And one thing that I observed was that none of his students, or whoever it was, I gotta remember these things, when they had never done a stall, might have been another instructor, they had never done a stall where they recovered at the first indication of the stall. Have you done that?
So just feeling the buffet?
Or the stall horn, it's prompt recognition. Prompt recognition and recovery. So like definite stall horn, definite buffeting.
Okay. Well, let's do that.
Yeah.
So we turn back first and...
Let's descend to 2,000. Look, on this heading, let's descend to 2,700. I don't mean to keep making you up, because we're going to do a power on stall, and I want to make sure that we don't climb into the class Bravo by mistake. It's just an instructor thing. Because we're pretty much good until we get to the Patuxent River. But it's probably, you're right, it's probably not enough space, but I want to use up all the space we've got.
So we're at 2,700?
Yep.
Potomac approach, Omaha 4.
Omaha 4, Potomac.
Yeah, I'm with you on the other side of Davison's surface.
The only time it's useful to do a full stall would be on a check ride. When it comes to training and learning, you'll need to develop a sense of what an imminent stall is like, and like an instinct or reaction to once you recognize one of the things to recover immediately. Because the problem with training is, okay, in training we tell you to do, okay, full stall, wait for the nose to drop, and then if say for example you got in a real life situation, your body might not immediately react to the sensation.
You're so used to the practice.
Yeah.
Because you, like they say with anything, like you perform like you practice.
Yeah. So the FAA has been working on it to try and change everything to recovering at the first sign of a stall. But you'll have to, it depends on who you get as an instructor, examiner. You can start a 180 turn back the other way.
They're right, turning right.
It's very important before you do these maneuvers just to ask, okay, do you want me to recover at the first sign, or do you want me to do a full stall or something like that, just so that they don't accidentally, they don't accidentally fail you or whatever. So this time we'll do it with the power on stall, which is good because we probably won't have the wing drop, which is what everybody hates. Alright, this is fine. Alright, so we'll do a power on stall and we'll recover at the first sign. So, we'll first start by slowing the aircraft down to about 60 knots or so. You can use less.
So you said 60 or so?
Yeah, like 55, 60, so.
With no flaps though, because we're doing like the departure stall.
Yeah. And the less throttle you use, the quicker we slow down. But don't allow the aircraft to descend, so keep that nose up perfect. Then when we get to 60, we'll do carb heat, in, full power, and raise the nose. And right rudder. Full power, raise the nose. More, a little more right rudder, there you go. And keep pulling back.
Okay, and so first sign of the stall, we're going to recover?
Yep, pull. There's a definite sign, recover. There you go. When you sometimes you'll hear go, that's not, I want like a definite indication, like what we had there. Perfect.
Okay, do it again?
Transponders is clear.
Sure.
Man outside the class Bravo airspace at all times, national altimeter 3026.
3026 on the altimeter, remain clear of the class Bravo, 80 Charlie Papa.
Alright, 80 Charlie Papa, fly north, the exit the SFR, or the freeze, and then you can get on course out the Woolly Gate.
Charlie Papa, roger, we will proceed north to exit the freeze.
But you kind of want the plane standing on its tail when you do this power on stall.
Charlie Papa,
It does take a lot.
Once you're outside the Woolly Gate, are you looking for flight following?
Yeah, keep pulling.
Yes, sir, if you could work it.
What altitude would you like, and where are you headed?
2,500, and we're going to White Plains.
You know the three-letter identifier for that?
Alright, reduce the power.
For November.
You can bring it to cruise here.
You're welcome.
And now, let's try it again, except with a power off stall.
Okay.
We're really stalling this thing today. Alright, so let's reduce the power.
Okay, so
Power to idle, carb heat out, add all your flaps, First notch. And then the rest. And you can do a little descent like we're on an approach to land. They're in. Alright, pull the power to idle. Now pretend you're flaring and raise the nose. There's your horn, full power, carb heat in. Nose level. Allow the airplane to accelerate. Keep that nose level. Okay, now retract your flaps one at a time. Okay, next notch. And the rest.
All the way for the throttle. I do have it all the way in, even though there's the...
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm going to level out again for 3,000.
Sure, sounds good.
So it's just a matter of just making yourself kind of like Pavlovian about that stall horn.
Yep. But I'm sure by now you know how to do the full one anyways. Basically with my students I do one once and then I tell them to do one once.
November 80, Charlie Papa for flight following.
And then from then on I do like first indication.
128.70.
Just so they can get really
Charlie Pop switching, thank you.
used to it, comfortable. So, we've done our stalls and slow flight. Have you done emergency stuff?
So we've done a couple of hold the power and set the best glide speed.
Yeah,
And
there's nowhere nice to go out here, unfortunately.
what would somewhere nice be? Like, what do you mean?
Oh, like wide open fields without power lines and radio towers. I mean, there's stuff like over here, but not towards 2 Whiskey 5.
Where would you land if you had an emergency right now?
I would turn back the other way, or
The
there's
field
two. Yeah, the stuff behind us is better.
We're too far away to make the private airfield
Yes,
there.
I think so. My advice for finding places to land in an emergency: select an area where there are a lot of open fields. So in the event, if you pick a field and you screw up, you can go to another field. If you pick one field in the middle of a forest,
2953, Potomac, your
You're stuck with it.
and outside class Bravo airspace, altimeter 3026.
3026, remain clear, Bravo, 953.
November 12953, are you going to be a full stop? You're doing pattern work once you get to freeway.
okay.
Full stop at freeway, 953.
Roger.
I want to do a little exercise before we get into the pattern. I was doing it with my other student, who's pretty much at your stage. It helped him a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly a mock traffic pattern.
Okay.
Except we're going to do it here.
Okay.
So let's just for this exercise, let's say traffic pattern altitude is 3,000 feet. And right now we're on downwind. And there's going to be a north-south road that we're going to cross here in a couple miles. I guess it's Interstate 301.
Okay.
That will be the beginning of the runway.
Okay. Got it.
And you'll know that you're oriented at the runway because when we turn final, you'll be pointed towards the power plant.
Okay.
And then for downwind, like a good reference for downwind would be this river that comes in and it looks like a fishtail.
Yep.
So you could point the nose of the aircraft a little bit to the left. This guy's
So-
off a little.
Got it. So we're going to, downwind will be that way.
We're on downwind.
Oh, we're on downwind. Okay.
So we'll do downwind base, final, and then we'll do a go around,
Okay.
come back up. We'll do that a couple
I like
times
it.
and then we'll go.
Good.
And the key here is that you maintain your airspeed within 10 knots.
Would you like to fly your downwind at 100 or do you slow down before?
I usually keep it between 90 and 100 at right where you got it, 2200
Okay.
RPM.
And then what speeds do you like for when you, the then you're going to put in your first notch of flaps and start pulling power at beam the number?
Beam the numbers, I do carb heat, power to 1500, 1 notch of flaps.
Okay,
and then
what speed are you looking for first?
Before I descend, I get to 85. Once I'm at 85, I begin a descent. And then on base, I do second notch flaps, 75. And then on final, I do third notch, 65. Then go around is carb heat, full power, positive rate at 75, retract the flaps one at a time.
And I see 301 down there.
Yep. So that will be our beam the numbers. And we'll pretend that the ground is at 2,000 feet.
Okay, so we're beaming the numbers.
Yep.
Full carb heat. Power to
1500.
1500. Low to 85.
And 1 notch of flaps. That's in. Alright. There's your 85. Now begin your descent.
A little bit further. Going us this way.
Yep. Alright,
Turn
that's
base here.
45 degrees, yep. Raise the nose and get to 75. And then add your next notch of flaps. And continue descending at 75. Alright, start your turn final. Last notch of flaps, 65. And you can turn towards the power plant. And maintain 65. A little slow here, so nose down. And when we get to 2,000, we'll go around.
Full power first.
Carb heat in, full power.
Down.
Okay, give that positive rate of climb. And we can retract the flaps one at a time. We're continuing on the upwind here, or on the departure leg. Then we'll turn crosswind at 27. I think 2700, yep.
Yeah, I'm climbing up DY.
Yep.
Alright, so turning crosswind.
Potomac approach, Skyhawk 12953 has freeway in sight.
100 to go.
November 12953, roger, remain transponder code to land, change to advisor, frequency approved, good day.
Alright, change the frequency, keep the code. Good day, 953.
Crosswind.
Yep, and reduce the power. And you can turn downwind towards the fishtail. very good. We'll do one more. I think this helps.
I like it because it gives me a chance to worry about the configuration changes and speeds without worrying about the ground coming up.
One step at a time, right?
You got it.
This is the second time I've done this. So you're my guinea pig.
All right, I like it. Almost going to be a beat. Okay, so power back to 100 carb feet out first.
And one notch of flaps.
Wow.
Now we're at 85, and start your descent. Alright, beam numbers, base, so 75, second notch of flaps.
You'll do the flaps you can do when you're turning.
Yeah. That's an some instructors don't like you doing that. I don't care.
Turning final.
Turn final, clear left. Last notch of flaps. 65.
Now.
Sure.
Right. Positive rate of climb, speed's going up, so first steps out.
And you can level off here. Start a turn to the left. And begin a descent to 1,000 feet.
So,
we'll
turn left.
go to 2 Whiskey 5 here. And it's about a heading of 320 or so. 310 at our 10 o'clock.
I see it.
Okay, so we'll enter on the 45. Potomac 776, we have 2 Whiskey 5 in sight. Request frequency change for pattern and then return to Potomac Airfield.
November 64776, Roger, remain transponder code. Tell you while you're in pattern there, give me a call when you're done, when you're ready, head back to Potomac. The wind at DCA is 230 at 7, and appears to be one in the pattern there, appears to be left base for runway 20 there.
776, thank you.
So 1,900 for 1,000.
Yep. Maryland traffic, Cessna 64776, 5 miles southeast, inbound for landing, Maryland. And checklist. How are you sitting on? Let's do the approach checklist.
Okay, so seatbelt's tight.
Yep.
Carb heat is on since we're below the green arc.
Yep.
Descending mixture is rich. Fuel selector on bulk. Landing light
On.
on.
That was
Not
a
taxi.
Yeah. On.
You already had to land on, okay. Alright, so we are going to enter the 45 downwind, left downwind for runway 20.
Yep.
And pattern work at Whiskey 5.
Cambridge traffic, Cessna 89054.
Well, let's plan on doing a full stop landing.
Inbound, Cambridge.
Okay.
Or a go around.
Alright. Let's do a full stop landing.
Full stop landing, and if we can't make that, then we'll go around.
Or a go around.
Yeah,
Got it.
either the two.
Gotcha.
I don't really want to do a touch and go.
Okay. And it looks like the DG is still good.
Yep.
Okay.
The goal looks like the goal of this is going to be to see if we can implement what we just did here.
Okay.
And we're going to do one landing and then head back is what I'm.
Okay.
Is all we got time for, but I just want to see if it transferred over.
Cambridge traffic, Piper 2143 Golf is turning left crosswind for runway 16, Cambridge.
Now, do you think there's going to be much of a crosswind on the surface?
That's
there?
what I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
So that's why I said or go around.
Okay.
I'll help you. I'll guide you through it if needed.
Maryland traffic, 5477 Kilo, clear the active, taxiing to runway 20, Maryland.
They just landed.
Yeah. Alright, here's the 1000.
Cambridge traffic, Piper 2143 Golf is turning left downwind for runway 16.
Maryland traffic, Cessna 776, 3 miles southeast, runway 20, Maryland.
And Cambridge traffic, Piper 2143 Golf is exiting traffic pattern at left downwind for runway 16. Maryland traffic, 5 vectors, left crosswind, 3400.
That's the Lemmer's at the tower.
That's the radio tower.
Okay.
Alright, so we want like 100 and where you got it at 1,000. Yep, perfect.
Cambridge traffic, Cessna 89054, 5 miles to the northeast, inbound, Cambridge. Maryland traffic, 9525 vectors. Traffic pattern to the north.
I see a helicopter, no factor.
Where's the
And
helicopter?
12 o'clock.
Ah, yes, I see it.
Alright, let's turn now to the downwind.
Subject traffic numbers away, 13.
Maryland traffic, Cessna 64776, turning left downwind for 20, Maryland.
Alright, looking good.
I don't feel like I'm getting pushed that much.
Cambridge traffic, Cessna 89054. What's the latest active?
Alright, beam the numbers. Car beat, 1500, 1 notch of flaps. We'll descend to 85.
Alright, Cambridge traffic, Cessna 89054, 3 miles to the northeast. We'll be crossing the midfield for a left downwind for 34 Cambridge.
Right now.
Subject traffic, be advised, jumping in the air, 8,000.
Maryland traffic, Cessna 64776, turning left base, runway 20, Maryland.
Flaps.
Runway 3400.
I got a little speed.
And 75. Alright, we're slightly high, so reduce your power. And keep 75, very good.
Subject traffic, back to the left, downwind, runway 22, subject.
Alright, start your turn to final.
Maryland traffic, Cessna 64776, turning final, runway 20, Maryland.
And flaps. And 65. Alright, now we want to aim for the numbers. There's a little bit of wind from the right, so we're going to do a little bit of right aileron and then left rudder to align the nose with the runway. Excellent. Alright, a little less throttle here. There you go. Alright, now raise the nose a little bit. Now smoothly bring the power to idle. Now raise the nose a little. Alright, very good. Minimal assistance by me. And we'll keep rolling. So feet off the brakes, take it down. reduce the power.
Put it off right here?
Yeah.
Downwind runway 151.
Nose up just a little, yeah. And keep taxiing. And you're clear, alright.
Maryland traffic, Cessna 64776 is clear of the active, runway 20, Maryland.
Maryland traffic, November 5477 Kilo, takeoff, runway 20, Maryland.
So after land, oh, up. So RP, hold, heads down. I just leave the
Turn off landing light, turn off strobe. There you go.
Okay.
Now let's taxi back for departure. I think there's something off with our nose strut.
But it was a little funky.
Yeah.
I said that, what would you call it, like a shimmy or a, it was, we were rolling out. All right.
Let's just keep the weight off of it.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna do the next takeoff.
Okay.
That's pretty steep. And the next landing. So you're pretty much, we'll do the before takeoff, but I'm gonna show you something new for this takeoff.
Okay.
You're gonna do it maybe a month from now.
Okay.
It's called a soft field takeoff. It's what you do if you take off on a grass strip. The reason why I'm doing it is for the nose wheel.
Yeah.
And then the landing is
Maryland
at Potomac is because it's Potomac.
November 54.
And we're going to do 24.
Turning crosswind, runway 20, Maryland.
And I'll also sort of, that's hard because it's a short runway, but I'll kind of try and be easy on the nose wheel. We're going to look at it when we get out. What I'm thinking is that there's no 3 fingers anymore. I'm thinking it's 1 finger.
Maryland traffic, November 5477 Kilo, turning downwind, runway 20, Maryland.
Possibly. What do you think of the approach and the landing?
So, well, it was definitely better the last time. But when I was with Larry, I felt like I had a better sense of. It didn't feel as rushed, and I felt like I was able to adjust the throttle without making adjustments too big to cause problems.
It was very smooth and stable, and
yeah,
I was happy.
Maryland traffic, November 5477 Kilo,
I still
base runway 20, Maryland.
Work on kind of getting the speeds faster, staying there. You critique it.
What do you need to work on the speeds, getting fast? What do you mean?
I mean, getting to the right speed.
Oh, quicker?
Quicker, and then keeping it right there.
Okay. I mean, I thought everything was pretty good. The only thing was we came in high initially, and then, so there will be these, you're going to do tons of traffic patterns before you solo. Each pattern is going to be slightly different. You'll have to recognize when you just turn to base, you'll have to make a decision whether you're too high, too low, too fast, too slow, between beam the numbers and when you touch down. You'll have to make the appropriate correction. There's a little square, Punnett square we can draw. And I'll discuss all the scenarios. So I told you reduce power and continue down, and worked out, right? We touched down pretty much. You were a little bit off center, and that could have been because there was wind from the right that was blowing us to the left.
Yeah.
So, and that's something that you just need to work on.
And I think I held too much left rudder a little bit towards, initially it's fine, it was too much.
Yeah, and then I noticed you were a little bit too touchy with the throttle when we were on short final. But, what was this, your 4th or 5th landing or something?
Yeah, exactly.
But the approach, here's a good saying to take away from today. A good approach is a good landing. If you can fly that pattern at those speeds, most of your landings will be better than average.
Okay.
And acceptable for soloing. So that's where we start, and I think we conquered that today. The next part would be timing your flare, touching down on the center line, keeping the plane stable. So let's do the before takeoff checklist here. Let's see, flaps are set 10 degrees for this. Mixture, flight instruments, everything looks good here.
Both. Brim is at a takeoff. Yep. Okay. All right. You have the controls?
I got the controls. So soft field takeoff. It's kind of like what the fighter jets do. You know how they kind of just lift off and then accelerate and then they go whoop. We're not going to go like whoop, but basically we let the plane lift off in ground effect and float over the runway until we reach climb speed.
Okay.
So there's no rotation speed. Basically, we start with the yoke
all the way back to begin with.
Not all the way back, but almost all the way back, because you don't want to strike the tail on the ground either.
Sounds clear?
Clear, clear. And then we're going to minimize the use of brakes.
Maryland traffic 5477 Kilo, clear the active. Taxi to runway 20, Maryland.
Maryland traffic, Skyhawk 776 departing 20, Maryland.
Alright, so yoke's about here, right where the door is. Not going to use brakes. Keep it rolling here. And smoothly at full power. Alright, now we're going to climb at 65 until the obstacles are cleared. Alright, obstacles are cleared. Now I'm going to nose down to 75. And retract the flaps.
165 wind for a northwest departure, Cambridge.
Alright, you have the controls?
I have the controls.
You have the controls.
Alright, where are we going?
Let's turn towards the power plant. Okay. And depart to the east. Last call.
Alright. Maryland traffic, Cessna 64776, departing the pattern to the east, Maryland.
There you go. We're out of Maryland, returning to Potomac Airfield.
Potomac, Cessna 64776, off of Maryland, returning to Potomac.
November 64776, Roger. Proceed as requested. Reset transponder, squawk 5367.
Reset transponder 5367. 64776.
Alright, he told us we're good to go, so let's turn towards Marina, and you can stay here at 1000.
SSO 776 advise, Potomac in sight, and the wind at Andrews is 2207.
We'll advise Potomac in sight, wind at Andrews 2. I didn't catch that, 776.
Wind at Andrews is 220 at 7, 220 at 7.
Wind at Andrews 220 at 7. Cessna 64776.
You don't have to read back just, he's doing something nice. He does, you know, they usually never read weather.
Okay.
He's just bored, you can just tell him thanks. But that's alright. That's not a required read back.
Got it.
So we'll continue towards the marina here at 1000. And the reason why I had us go east is because I wanted to get away from the pattern. So when you turn north towards Potomac, just be careful because you're still kind of in the pattern, but we're away from it now. Just something to keep in mind.
To go east a little bit further.
Yeah.
with it. When you're flying straight and level and you're double checking inside to make sure you're level, that's what you want. Are you mostly looking just at the altimeter, or are you looking at the VSI?
Altimeter. And artificial horizon. Your VSI is very erratic. It shows general trends, but it's not, just looking at it doesn't really give you the right information.
Marina's right there?
Yeah, you can turn to the left just a little. Actually, no, you're fine on this heading. Because we're going into 2-4. Usually I give myself a little more room if I go into 6.
Okay, right pattern, correct?
Yes.
Pattern altitude is at 1,000?
Yep.
So the airfield's at 100, so it's like a 900-foot pattern?
Yep. 2 Whiskey 5s is an 800-foot pattern, I think.
That it, right?
You can call it in sight.
Yeah. Potomac, Cessna 64776, VKX in sight.
Cessna 776, roger. Remain on transponder code till you land. Change to advisory, frequency approved. Good day.
We'll change to advisory and remain on the code 776. Good day.
Alright, switch. And there's no place like home.
Oh. Do we say we're over the marina or not yet?
Sure, you can say that.
And so I'm going to say over the marina, and do we say we're going to down for the downwind to 4?
You can just say we're over the marina, inbound for runway 24.
Okay. Potomac, Cessna 64776, over the marina, inbound for 24, Potomac.
Alright, I'll take the controls. I have the controls. I want you to make the radio calls as I go, though. So, there's this building here that looks like a White House or something.
Right there,
yeah. With a radio tower on top of it.
Yeah.
I head for that first.
Okay.
Then I head for the high school.
Okay.
And then the various water towers that are kind of out on the horizon. And then I fly the pattern differently than the other instructors. The difference is that I like to set myself up earlier when I land at this airport. Only this airport. So I begin slowing the airplane down when we cross 210.
Okay.
That's when we're landing on 24. If we're landing on 6, I begin slowing down over the marina.
Okay.
And on the weekends, it's a little bit different because you've got traffic coming in and out, so you might have to tailor it to them. Most of the time, nobody's here, it's just us.
Yeah, so when I fly with Dave, usually he's slowing down when we cross 210.
Yeah. Nice. So when I cross 210, I got full flaps, and I'm at 70.
Oh, you're really slow, okay.
So that I can make that 3-mile approach as constant and as stable as possible. Alright, so now I'm going to overfly the golf ball here. Ah, looks like there's no traffic. Look at that, look how beautiful it is for us going back. Hopefully that's where you're going.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going to start slowing down. So here I do 2,000 carpet out and 1 notch of flaps. And if I maintain 1,000, the plane will slow down on its own. At this power setting, it should hold around 80 knots or so. I can kind of feel some wind blowing us this way. I don't know if you notice it or not.
Right, so now should I call that we're entering the downwind, or are we not quite there yet?
You can just say we're on downwind for 24.
Potomac traffic, Cessna 64776, on downwind for 24, Potomac.
Alright, a beam 6, I'm adding my 2nd notch. Still maintaining 1,000, and the flaps keeping the power at 2,000. And the flaps produce the drag to slow me down to my approach speed. I don't have to touch the throttle or the pitch or anything. Alright, a beam 2-4, last notch of flaps. And now I'm between 70 and 60, which is where I want to be. And now I start 1500 in the descent. My goal is the power lines at 700, I think. Yeah. I'll just follow the power lines on base.
Potomac traffic, Cessna 64776, turning right base 24, Potomac.
Again?
You can't really see the end of the runway with the trees in the way.
Correct. You kind of have to know.
Potomac traffic, Cessna 64776, turning final 24, Potomac.
So, notice everything's nice and shallow and smooth, and I haven't touched the throttle. This is one of the weird scenarios where I actually never have to touch the throttle. And I can kind of just fly it to the ground. Now here's where I'm going to start making changes because we have these trees here. So I'm going to just reduce the power a little bit because we're going to need to dive under these trees here, and if we just push the nose down, we're going to speed up. Alright, here comes us diving underneath the trees. We get some speed from that. Alright, now I'm going to bring the power to idle because I know the runway's made. I got to keep the nose off the ground. Alright. Potomac traffic 776 is clear of the active Potomac.
And there's no VASI or PAPI on that end. Is there one on this end for this airport? Or?
I think so.
No.
But it's a steeper approach.
So it wouldn't work.
So the takeaway, at least for me, was to get set up early, identify the correct landmarks so that you don't get in the airspace, and then the challenge is to get over the trees. So notice that I cut the power and then dove under, because if I would have left the power in, we would have floated down the runway. Alright, I'm just going to leave it here, and let's do the shutdown checklist.
Okay, so we can call Potomac, Cessna 64776, clear of runway, Potomac. Alright, so flaps are up.
Next page, shutdown.
Next page.
Parking brake.
Set. Lights off except for the beacon stays on. Avionics master is off.